What's up, YouTube? Average Gamers here, and man, Carl Hagelin just absolutely crushing it in that intro clip there with the spin-o-rama wrist shot goal. I mean, that's one of my favorite moves in this game. If you watch this whole gameplay, I mean, you'll see me try to spin a lot, and I succeed on two. I succeed in getting by a good amount, and getting a really good shot off on two of them. One hits the post, the other there goes in. So, I mean, it's a great move. If you watched my How to Deke in NHL 14, like Part 1, the Essentials video, I make a big deal about saying that, you know, the spin deke is a great way to really get to the if you're coming down the wing, to get to the inside and get in the slot for a wrister. And I mean, I hope that clip there demonstrates that pretty well. It works really, really good, especially if you have a very fast player. And I mean, if your opponent's stepping up on you with a hit, spin them, get in the middle, wrist shot, and you know, hopefully it's a goal unless the goalie makes a save or you mess up your aim or something. So, anyway, this game is awesome. I mean, NHL 15, there's no other way to say it. It's awesome. I mean, I made a video about 3 weeks ago complaining that NHL 13 and 14 were, the multiplayer was just not good. And I stand by that. I agree. But NHL 15, man, they finally got it right. I mean, this multiplayer, it's just like as if you were playing another, like your friend on the same Xbox, like if you were playing 1v1 or something on the same screen. It's fun, it's arcade style, it's more hitting, better shooting accuracy, better passing accuracy. I mean, just overall, they stopped trying to make it like strangely hyper-realistic and finally went back to the arcade style game that NHL is supposed to be, and it's a lot of fun to play. Like, I have really enjoyed playing this game over the last few days, and I can't say the same about NHL 13 and 14 online. I didn't enjoy it as much. So here's my first goal. Pretty, you know, bad goal. I don't really like tip-ins very much, and even worse than that is a tip-in that shouldn't have even gone in the net. You know, a tip that goes off the defender's body and then past the goalie. So, no, I mean, I'll take it. You know, I guess get pucks to the net. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, not a great goal to start off the game with. But you know, it is how it is. I'll take the 1-0 lead and go on from there. So, anyway, man, this game, like I was just saying, they did it right. I mean, just a bunch of changes I've noticed from well, first of all, here, just because they're going into a fight. I mean, the fighting engine's the same. I really like this third-person fighting engine. It's a lot more kind of skill-based than the fighting engine, you know, pre-NHL 14, when it was kind of like a first-person fighter, when you just kind of punch over and over, and whoever could punch quicker would win. I mean, this one, you know, you have the dodges like that right there. You can grapple them if you dodge, and then you can pull them down to the ground. I mean, you can, you know, do an overhand punch, you can do an uppercut. I mean, you can push, pull. There's so much to do in fighting, and it's one of my favorite aspects of the game. I only really have one complaint about the fighting in this game, and that's that it kind of cuts you off after like 3 or 4 fights. It won't let you fight again, I think, after 3. And I understand why EA, why the makers of this game have, you know, put that in, you know, so you can't just kind of fight over and over and the game lasts forever. But I think you should be able to do more than 3 fights. I mean, here, this is the second fight, and it's only like halfway through the first period. I mean, you should at least be able to do like 5, 6, 7 fights in the game. I just think it's more fun. It's a really fun aspect of the game, and I enjoy it. There's a lot of skill. I mean, I like the little celebrations you can do after, and it's just kind of nice overall. So I will be making a how to fight video in NHL 15. That'll be coming out in a few days. You know, talk about all the different aspects of fighting, like the dodges, the grapples, punches, and the celebrations you can do after you win. And yeah, so anyway, the fighting's really good, but like I said, like I was saying, I've noticed a few changes basically from, here's Rick Nash off the post after doing that beautiful spin deke. That's really too bad right there at the end of the first. I was pretty pissed when that happened, but anyway, so going back to differences I've noticed between the multiplayer and 14 and 15. I mean, first of all, it's more arcade style. I know I covered this earlier, but what I mean by that is in NHL 14, and if you saw my other video, you probably heard this already, but it's just too much like realism put into the game. Like players were missing 3/4 of their shots by a good amount. Like you'd be on a breakaway, wide open net, and your guy would miss, or the goalie would make some ridiculous desperation save that was one of the big innovations they put in the game. And basically, that's just when you completely deke the goalie and you should have a goal. You don't score because he like just makes some crazy diving save. Oh, by the way, if you're ever fighting, don't do what that guy just did and just kind of sit back and hold left trigger to lean back and dodge. I mean, that's ridiculous. You don't, just because he knew he was getting crushed, he knew he wasn't going to win it, so he just sits back and makes it so I can't punch him and do any damage so he gets the draw. Don't do that. If you accept the fight, you got to fight it out. I mean, that's ridiculous. Anyway, so it's more arcade style, and I really enjoy that. It's more fun to play. Like shots are going in, like wrist shots. I mean, deking's better. The quick dekes that they introduced in NHL 14, I mean, they're better in this game. They're really fun to do. The spin dekes are great, and your players lose control of the puck on a lot of the dekes, which even though it's a little bit annoying, it's actually really annoying. It's nice because if they succeeded every time, it'd be a little bit ridiculous. So here's the beautiful goal by Hagelin. Taking it up the side, spin into the middle, and snipe that top right corner. I mean, sniping the corner, the top corner over the goalie's glove side. That's probably the best place to shoot in the game. Either of the top corners, but especially over the goalie's glove. And yes, so I'll be also, if you watched my my video about the part 1 of deking in NHL 15, the essential dekes. I make a pretty big deal about the spin deke and how it's really effective if you're going down the wing. You can spin and get into the inside. So you saw that there. He's going down the wing, Hagelin, and you use the spin deke. You get right into the slot, and you're usually wide open for a very quality wrist shot. So hopefully, take my advice on that. If you can really get the timing down on the spin deke, it becomes a really, really effective deke to do in the game, and I highly recommend it. So. Another big change I've kind of noticed between NHL 14 and 15 is just the overall fluidity of the game. I mean, this game was lacking a little bit at times. Like every now and then it'll get a little patchy, but with lag. But the overall just like fluidity, like you saw that big hit, everything just works really well. Like the game mechanics are amazing. NHL 14, like there'd be a lot of times where I'd go in for a hit, I'd square up a guy perfectly, and like it just kind of brush him, or times like it just didn't really it felt like kind of jaggedy. I mean, this game, everything works in motion. This new like kind of like you can hit the goalie, everyone's flying all over the place. It's really realistic in that respect, and I really like that a lot. So that's two things I've noticed so far: the arcade versus kind of realistic priorities of the multiplayer, and the just overall fluidity of the game. So those are the two kind of major changes I've noticed between NHL 14 and 15, and I think they both really made this game a lot more fun to play. I truly enjoy it a lot more. So before this video wraps up, I mean, there's the third period coming up, but before this video finishes, I just want to point out a few changes I'm going to have to make to my channel. Oh, first, before I get into that, here's their goal. I mean, I know I probably should have taken his body with Girardi there and stopped him at all from getting in, but I thought, I pushed him to his backhand. I didn't think he'd be able to score with a little weak backhander like that, but I guess I was wrong. It is how it is. And there I hit the pipe. It's just... So there's still some, like, kind of bullshit things like that. I mean, that's part of the game. Like, it's part of real hockey, too, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to have to stop using the song in my outro page. I've been here by Jonas. I've been using it in every video, and I'm gonna have to stop using that just because of copyright reasons. Like, I was able to use that music at the beginning when I was showing Carl Hagelin's really like good spin goal at the very beginning with that music. I can use that because I had to do all this stuff, like find music that's royalty free and all this kind of stuff online, so that I can't get my videos taken down because of it. But so unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop playing that music, at least in my outro clip. I'm still searching for another song that I think would be pretty good for it, that I can use without worry of copyright, but unfortunately I haven't found one yet. So for at least this video and possibly the next few, I'm just going to be kind of talking through the outro clip instead of instead of playing music there. So it's a little unfortunate that these copyright laws are so strict. Like, I thought you could use music if it was under 30 seconds in length, but apparently if you play music at all for even like a second, split second, I mean, they can take down your video, and if you do that in multiple videos like I have in every video so far, they can take down your account, and it's just all this ridiculous stuff. So I really don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to stop using that outro clip music in the rest of my videos, just so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And, you know, it is how it is. YouTube has rules. I'm not, you know, I can't get around them. I'm not exempt to them. So, yep. If you really enjoyed that song, I apologize. If not, I guess it really doesn't affect you. You know, hopefully you won't care that much. But, yeah, so if anyone has any recommendations for a new song, like a new good song, I'm all for it. So, you know, thank you all for coming and watching this gameplay. I really appreciate it. Please remember to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, so I will hopefully see you all in the next video. This is Average Gamers, signing off.